Prince Harry is quickly realising the meaning of the phrase, when it rains, it pours. After the fake car chase, losing a major court battle with the UK government, plunging global popularity and a host of other legal wrangles looming, the Duke of Delusion could soon be facing the explosive prospect of deportation from the United States for lying on his immigration visa about previous drug use. In his grim tell-all memoir, Spare, the Prince revealed how he's taken anything from cannabis and magic mushrooms to Class A drugs like cocaine. But US immigration laws say that any foreigner determined to be a drug user is classed as inadmissible. Now, the hugely respected US think tank, the Heritage Foundation, is battling Joe Biden's government to obtain Harry's visa application in full in a bid to uncover the truth. This is the brutal moment. Heritage Foundation's president, Kevin Roberts, told the Daily Telegraph that America wants Harry to go home.
2 or 3% of the population that loves the nonsense that Harry and Meghan spew. You don't have to worry about Americans being on their side. They're on Britain's side.
Should he be deported?
We don't like him being in America, and we would love for him to come back to you or somewhere. I guess we, as Americans, we see Prince Harry the same way you see President Biden. You can have him back.
Well, joining me live now is the man leading the legal charge against Harry and his visa, outside counsel at the Heritage Foundation's Oversight Project, Samuel Dewey. So, Samuel, great to have you here tonight. Are the walls closing in on Harry staying in the US?
Well, we'll have to see, because we're in court, because we're facing obstruction and denials from the Biden administration. There's a clear public interest in understanding, did Prince Harry get preferential treatment? And we have a very strong case that these records should be made public, but they're fighting us. And we're going to have to be in court, and there will be litigation, and we're confident we will prevail, but it's going to be a long haul.
Because from what you know of Prince Harry's revelations of being a prominent and consistent user of illegal drugs, is there any way that he could gain access to the US if he were like you and me, an ordinary bloke?
I mean, our understanding from all the information is no, he probably wouldn't, or there would be a very lengthy process. And that's the problem this case illustrates. He is a global elite with leftist ideology who has come to America, tried to make money off his title, while at the same time lecturing everyday Americans on how to live. And if he wants to lecture everyday Americans on how to live while using his royal title, then he should comply scrupulously with our rules.
And he hasn't. So it does lead you to suggest that there is some form of special treatment going on, because, as you say, he's not just on the left, is he? Before the last election, him and Meghan made it very clear that they were encouraging US voters to boot Donald Trump out of office and vote for Joe Biden.
Oh, absolutely. And this is part of a broader issue. The Biden administration is ignoring our laws on immigration. Our southern border is a mess. It's just like the southern border in the United Kingdom, and they're opposing any way to fix it, and they're ignoring the laws that are there. The only consistent principle is special treatment for their friends. So we have a lot of suspicions here. They're going to throw up their roadblocks, but we're going to get to the truth.
Yeah, so I was going to say, what is your plan? How can you get to the truth, given it seems very clear to me that the Biden administration are trying to frustrate your case, which, by the way, I completely support. But what are you going to do?
Well, fortunately, the final say in these matters is had by a federal judge, and we're in federal court right now. We filed our complaint. We filed motions, and we're going to litigate the case in court, because the Biden administration may be able to ignore the American people. They may be able to ignore the media, but they can't ignore a federal judge. And that's unfortunately where we are. The only way to get them to comply with lawful FOIA requests is to sue them, fight them in court, and get a federal judge to order disclosure.
Of course, there may be a change of government in the US in the not too distant future. Do you think there could be a seismic change that could threaten Prince Harry's residency under a, say, return of President Trump to the White House, or, given what we're hearing tonight, a President Ron DeSantis to the White House?
I mean, I think there will be a seismic change in border policy, and there will be an actual serious attempt to defend American sovereignty and defend the border. And I think as part of that, certainly you will see a very careful examination not only of what laws did the Biden administration ignore, but what favors did they do for the global liberal elites that espouse their message and lecture the common American people from their 8-figure mansions.
So if the law is followed, Samuel, is there a possibility that Prince Harry could find himself deported from the US?
That is certainly one of the many possibilities. We just don't know what happened because we don't have the information, because they are withholding it from us.
But if he
and
lied,
that's the problem
if he lied and you
this
can prove that he lied on the form, could he then be deported?
Yes, it is commonly the case that if you are found to have lied on an immigration form, that you will be deported.
Wow. Wow. So he could be in deep trouble. So you've got to keep fighting this, though, because it's important. You know, you can't boast about breaking the law and then have the red carpet rolled out, because there are so many Brits who want to enter the US. This is a really, really fascinating case. Keep fighting the good fight. That's Samuel Dewey, outside counsel at the Heritage Foundation's Oversight Project.